W.P.Carey School of Business at Arizona State University. Our topic today is how to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. We're really excited to be a part of the Beat the GMAT series this year. We hope you enjoy today's presentation, and we're really hoping that you'll be able to take away some more information and maybe have a new idea of what entrepreneurship really is. So with that, I'd like to introduce your presenters. My name is Erica DeStefano. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions and Recruitment here for the W.P.Carey School of Business. And with me today is Dwayne Miller. Really excited to have him with us today to present this topic. Dwayne is a lecturer and part of the W.P.Carey management team, and he is also a graduate of the MBA program here at W.P.Carey. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the presentation over to Dwayne.
Thanks, Erica. Entrepreneurship courses are an integral part of the MBA program at ASU's W.P.Carey School of Business. Building on 20 years of executive-level management experience, my objective is to engage practical application of academic coursework to build the skills essential in today's business environment. I have a personal passion for small business and have spent a great deal of time the past 10 years as an investor, consultant, and general advocate of Arizona's entrepreneurial ecosystem. When I began formal teaching 3 years ago, I was fascinated with the tools available to drive a business idea into a fully developed business model. Most importantly, I saw the ability to think and act like an entrepreneur provided a level of breadth and depth that was missing in most management teams. For projects to be successful in an established business also requires entrepreneurial thinking. What's the value proposition, and who are the customers, whether they're internal or external? Many leaders and employees in the company only see projects from their narrow area of responsibility, failing to grasp how a project increases organizational value. Many companies do not effectively communicate business models to employees in a way that creates synergy. Employees aren't allowed to fail in order to build better solutions. Accordingly, they do not know how to fail quickly and cheaply to minimize the tuition costs of learning, which can result in some spectacular failures. Hard work is not enough. Encouraging risk-taking allows ideas to be turned into innovative products and services, taking the world by storm. Challenge the status quo to remain relevant in a fast-changing business world, and rethinking your strategies, knowing that business models and product cycles grow increasingly shorter. Even if you're not an entrepreneurial business owner, you must develop similar skills to be an intrapreneurial business leader to maximize potential. Learn to embrace and accept failure as a pathway to success in a world that responds to practice, not theory. Let's take a look at the top 3 on the Fast Company 2013 list of most innovative companies. Nike's electronic bracelet, Fuel Band, went from an idea to a customer-validated product which required breaking out of an apparel mindset and into tech, data, services. The Flyknit Racer, the feather-light shoes that feel more like a sock atop a sole, required a complete rethink of the manufacturing process. Innovation Nike style is a messy, exhausting process, culled from a myriad of options and countless failures. 4 distinct rules guide in taking on big risks that push Nike to adapt before competitors force it to change. To disrupt, you must go all in. Anticipate a product's evolution, direct your partners, and feed company culture. A foundation of Amazon's success is highly visible this time of year. The ability to deliver to the doorstep items that only hours ago were just a click of the customer's mouse. The acquisition of robotics maker Kiva Systems provided tools to reduce order processing time to 20 minutes. Strategic additions of new warehouses and spending $1.3 billion on fulfillment resulted in a decrease of shipping costs as a percentage of sales. Amazon sets the pace for both competitors and business partners, and you better keep up. Mostly used by independent business owners since its 2009 inception, Square is now making a push for quick serves, big and small, by touting Square Register as a point-of-sale alternative that is easier and cheaper to use than credit card machines. and operators from street vendors to Starbucks are taking note of its strong analytics and simple swipe fees. The mobile phone is the new cash register and provides a platform to serve businesses of any size. Rounding out the Fast Company Top 10, Splunk, founded in '06, had a $3 billion IPO last year. Fab.com, started in 2010, now has over 10 million members. Uber fuses tech with cabs to get you a ride in a matter of minutes. Sproxel, founding in 2006 as an organic foods authenticator, got traction when it pivoted to a pharmaceutical customer base, driving expansion into other segments. The Pinterestization of the web continues a trend as hot as Pinterest itself. In 2011, telecom giant Safaricom built a vital bridge between doctors and patients in Kenya, where medical care was a far-off luxury for most citizens. Target shrunk the big box with half-size prototype stores in major markets, connecting to the customer with speed and value while connecting to the community in landmark locations beloved by locals. Even the 3 top 10 companies I knew 5 to 10 years ago have very different looks today. For you to be part of this list 5 years from now requires an entrepreneurial mindset. Work done in W.P.Carey's entrepreneurial courses emphasizes the skills and qualities employers seek most. The 2012 Job Outlook provided a top 10 list that aligns well with entrepreneurship courses at W.P.Carey. Our focus is on these key attributes through working in teams and getting outside of the classroom to contact potential customers, business partners, and other stakeholders. These courses integrate and complement work and other core academic subjects to build confidence in applying classroom learning in the real world. The near absence of technical skills from this list tells me excelling at basic academic coursework is an expectation, and many technical skills specific to an organization will be taught on the job. But the ability to think, learn quickly, work effectively with others, and communicate effectively while dealing with the ambiguity of the real world are skills that distinguish you from your peers. As the new American university, ASU understands today's entrepreneurial society, and this mentality is embedded across all disciplines at both undergraduate and graduate levels. Multiple programs connect students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the greater Phoenix business community while leveraging the intellectual power and driving economic and social enterprise. Recent success in ASU's MBA programs includes the 2012 New Ventures Championship winning team of Praveen Alamuri, Matthew Hayden, Tyler Garrett, and Rohit Sareen, who received $25,000 to advance Lifeline Innovations efforts to bring an oral flu vaccine to market. Dr. Mike Denning's Advanced Entrepreneurship course provided the framework for the winning team. My courses provide a process for turning a conceptual business opportunity into a systemic, three-dimensional business model. This is not merely an academic exercise, but a live case study, where your work will bear fruit either for the local business community and/or individual student aspirations. We work mostly with early and pre-revenue stage companies, but opportunities also exist in driving second stage growth and expansion plans. Projects cross multiple industries, including both for-profit and not-for-profit organizations. Applied project companies come through multiple sources within and outside of ASU and include original MBA team concepts. We seek to provide multiple options to identify projects that are of personal interest to MBA student teams. Your learning experience will be more robust working on a project with shared vision and passion. The award-winning ASU SkySong facility, located just north of the Tempe campus, is a vital resource for the greater Phoenix community and a cornucopia of potential projects for ASU MBA students. It also provides additional entrepreneurial programs, funding opportunities, office space, mentors, and other basic needs that can turn an MBA project into your next career. Seed Spot Incubator in downtown Phoenix was co-founded by ASU alum Courtney Klein Johnson. My courses have collaborated with seed spot companies to enhance and advance business models for promising entrepreneurs. Seed Spot was featured in a February 2013 Forbes article. W.P.Carey has recently created a formal MBA Executive Mentor Program. Local retired senior level corporate executives, along with serial entrepreneurs, give back to the community by working with student teams and project company management to guide creation of sustainable business opportunities in Arizona. Effectively seeking and utilizing mentors is another post-graduation career enhancement tool we seek to develop. Mentors ask tough questions, challenge the groupthink mentality, share personal experience and networks to increase successful outcomes. First-year full-time MBA students participate in a business model competition as part of my class. The final four present to a group of VC and angel investors who select the winning team and become part of your W.P.Carey MBA network. The competition uses the Applied Projects framework to teach you how to move from the initial business hypotheses to a research-validated business model, take you outside of the classroom to engage with potential customers and business partners. The concept of a business plan has been replaced by the streetwise search for a business model, the foundation to any sustainable business. To quote Silicon Valley serial entrepreneur Steve Blank, no business plan has ever survived the first contact with the customer. I couldn't agree more with the problem with business plans, and it typically can convince us our guesses are right. Alexander Osterwalder defines the simplicity and challenge of a business model in the book Business Model Generation, a must-read for any business leader. The business model canvas is a tool we utilize for mapping the business opportunity into the evolution of a business model over the course of the competition. 9 components defining a complete business model can be divided into 2 major sections. The front stage, or the customer-facing components, include the value proposition, customer segments, channels, customer relationships, and revenue streams. Backstage are focused on internal operations and include key activities, key resources, key partners, and cost structure. The business model competition for first-year full-time MBAs starts with the selection of projects during a Q3 networking session, presenting potential projects sourced from the aforementioned organizations. Models evolve quickly over the 7-week class in Q4 when we get outside the classroom, adapting and validating our hypothesis. Teams engage with mentors, finding the most effective ways to communicate and optimize available time for all parties. Core deliverables include the pitch presentation and executive summary. These are essential communications which must be perfected to successfully address various real-world stakeholders. The business model narrative further explains the model, but a high-quality pitch and exec summary are the portals to maintaining audience interest. The coursework plan breaks down into simple steps. Pre-work allows you to hit the ground running in the first class with a sound initial starting point mapped on the business model canvas. Nailing the pain requires gaining true insight from customers on their problems that need solving. What jobs are they trying to get done? And don't be too quick to offer your solution. With a better understanding of the customer, what is the minimum viable product we can create to test our solution? We want more feedback from customers, but we must do this with minimalistic prototypes. After validating problems and solution options, assess how to get the product to market through an in-depth understanding of the end-to-end customer buying process. Finally, we will fine-tune the business model and prepare pitch presentation and exec summary, completing the process. The concept of pivoting is essential in avoiding the classic entrepreneurial mistake of forcing your model on the customers. One of the early PayPal executives who spoke in my MBA class shared how PayPal evolved from an online money transfer to a means to beam payment between Palm Pilots before finally pivoting to the successful concept of solving the payment problem between eBay buyers and sellers. Between pivots are minor iterations that involve changes of a lesser magnitude, such as modification of customer demographics or changes in channel partners. To recap, The objective of this particular first-year course is to introduce the importance of a validated and systemic business model solution. Get your feet on the street, learn the value of failing for success, and develop entrepreneurial skills which define the audaciousness of W.P.Carey graduates and programs. W.P.Carey enables you the right for you.
Hello, Erica, Dwayne. This is Jennifer with the GMAT. It appears we're experiencing some audio difficulty. All those who are in attendance for the session, we are currently experiencing some audio issues. Please bear with us as we work to correct this issue. Thank you.
Hello, are we back? Hi, everyone. We apologize for that. We were trying to share a video with you, but I suppose that kind of overloaded the system, so I apologize. But I do want to finish up by kind of pointing out McCord Hall, which is we feel a physical manifestation of our dedication to innovation and our graduate business students. We opened McCord Hall in June of 2013, and there is 129,000 square foot of dedicated space to our students, specifically our graduate business students. And it's the ideal place for our students to be able to facilitate their professional and personal skills, and we would certainly love to have you here to take a tour of our facilities or reach out to us and contact us via email or attend an event. At this time, that will conclude our presentation, and once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but we will open it up for questions now.
Okay, so we have a question regarding a potential student who has founded their own business and is interested in knowing whether or not it's typical for students to come to the W.P.Carey School with their own particular aspiration in that. And I think, as I mentioned in my slideshow, that's the benefit. We really want students to be working on projects that they're passionate about. Some student teams might not have anything particular because they're not pursuing an entrepreneurial career path at this time. So we would connect them with multiple projects and resources available through either our student or in the greater business community at large. But we love to see students bring their own ideas and bring that passion and engage their fellow students on their teams to help them build the next great success story.
If anyone does have any questions for Dwayne or myself, please feel free to send them to the moderator and she will forward them on to us. We're happy to answer any of your questions.
I would also encourage you, if entrepreneurship is your passion, to log on to entrepreneurship.asu.edu. That'll give you a quick look at some of the fantastic resources that we have available here at W.P.Carey and Arizona State University in total to support getting your project off the ground and turning it into a real success story.
Okay, we do have a question that's come in. What key factors should be considered before selecting an MBA program for a person with entrepreneurial goals? That's an excellent question. There are certainly a lot of factors to consider when choosing an MBA program. I think seeking a program that has entrepreneurship as a focus, not just with the program, but with the school in general, talking to current students and alumni of the program, seeing what's been done in the community and what kind of community impact that school has had through their various programs and students, I think is a great way. Let's see. We have another question that's come in. I hope that answered your question, but I'm interested in visiting W.P.Carey campus. How can I get a letter which is necessary for the visa interview? If you could contact us personally, reach out to the contact information on the screen, and I'm glad to talk a little bit more about that particular process. That'd be something we can talk better about offline, but we're definitely happy to help with that. And we'd certainly love to have you out to visit the campus. That's another big part of choosing a program in general. If you have the opportunity to visit the schools, visit the schools. There's no better way to get a feel for the culture of the program, of the staff, the students, and the faculty, and the campus itself. That's really the one of the ideal ways to help you in making your final decisions and determining if the program is a good fit for you or not.
And I think that Erica's comments, I think, bode well to the previous question as well, because one of the things, if I was interested in entrepreneurship, I'd want to get on campus and I would want to see how the campus is integrated with the greater business community, because once again, we really seek to leverage giving you some world-class academic instruction and techniques, and then working with people in the real world, in the real business community to apply those for success, and getting some of that street smarts in addition to the book smarts. Another question that just came up is, why go to B school and get an MBA if we were interested in entrepreneurship? Why not go to an entrepreneurial school? Well, if you look, I know we had some challenges with the video, but if you look at the resources that we have for ASU, I would say ASU is an entrepreneurial school. I remember a few years ago when I was in the business community and working with ASU, and we were talking about entrepreneurship, and I came down there and they had a brochure that starts out as a single 8.5 by 11, and as you open it and you fold it out, it becomes about a 2 foot by 3 foot that shows how entrepreneurship is embedded across all sectors and all programs at ASU. And this is a big advantage for our MBA students, because business students are sought to help develop the ideas and look for commercial applications for a lot of the technology that's developed elsewhere in the school. And we saw that with the 2012 Venture Championship team. They didn't invent the oral vaccine, but they were working with one of the other schools and saw an opportunity and helped them decide, how could we commercialize this? How lucrative is it in today's economy to be an aspiring entrepreneur? My belief, I think the future of this country and the strength of the United States has always been being the leading entrepreneurial nation in the world. So when we look at what we're doing, there are always opportunities. Now keep in mind, for every aspiring entrepreneur, there's a lot of challenges and a high failure rate. But you also learn from those failures, and someone that gives up the first time around is not cut out of the entrepreneurial cloth. But it's embracing those failures, learning, and continuing with the dogged determination. So I think there will always be lucrative opportunities for entrepreneurs who see the world a little bit differently and have that mindset. Question number 6, what kind of internship opportunities do the students have who is in the entrepreneurship concentration? We have so many connections and so many resources to local entrepreneurs. And Phoenix was recently quoted in Forbes magazine as the potential to be the next Silicon Valley. I think the difference there probably is a lot of the opportunities in Phoenix right now are a little bit smaller than the scale that we see in Silicon Valley, as we're still developing the overall access to capital that you see in the more developed entrepreneurial communities. But nonetheless, there are entrepreneurs here that are seeking out the types of students with the passion and the interest in becoming entrepreneurs themselves. And that's the big thing about the entrepreneurial community here. They really want to give back. They want to support each other, because we realize if we collaborate, we become the next Silicon Valley. If we work alone, we'll stay the desert. Next question is, what are some of the biggest misconceptions about becoming an entrepreneur? I see this a lot in some of the work done in my classes. A lot of people think that entrepreneurs, create this great idea and then they sit around and just watch the money roll in. And in reality, entrepreneurs are 24/7. You're always on. You're always engaged. There's a lot of work that takes in going from an idea to a successful business. So you have to have that passion. You have to look to connect to mentors and other people. You can't do it alone. Question number 8, are online simulation games like Simon Games really helpful to practice? I have not worked with those particular games. I am working with a simulation in my intensive elective course in the evening MBA program for second stage growth in entrepreneurial opportunities. And it involves dealing with ways to make sure you maintain appropriate amounts of working capital. So I think those are valuable in terms, the biggest challenge you have is not knowing what you don't know. And I think the simulations bring some of those potential situations that you have not experienced to light. and a way to address them, even if it's just a matter, you learn a little bit from the simulation. You'll learn a lot more from engaging with the local entrepreneurs and mentors we have than in discussing what that means and what they've seen from their own practical experience.
Any additional questions about MBA programs or other topics, maybe admissions related, maybe a different type of specialization? In the meantime, I think one of the interesting ideas that Dwayne's presentation has really brought up, and that we were hoping that you would get out of this presentation, is having an entrepreneurial mindset is more than just starting your own business. There are so many more aspects to it, and even if you do join, whether a small business or a Fortune 500 company or a not-for-profit company, having an entrepreneurial mindset is going to be beneficial to you and your organization and your community. And I think that was one of the points we were trying to hope to impart today. We got a very interesting question. How much importance is given to work experience? And do schools prefer to admit people who are already in the field they're applying for? That's kind of every person, and I'm sure you're going to hear this from every program that you speak with, is given a very comprehensive review in their application process. There are no two MBA applicants alike that are coming from the same place with the same experience and the same goals. So each person has to be evaluated completely individually and comprehensively. For some individuals, that work experience is going to be the biggest part of what they're bringing to the table. For some people, they may be shorter out of or closer to their undergraduate career, but may have other exceptional qualities of their application. We're looking for individuals that do bring some sort of diversity and experience into the classroom, something that's going to add to the education of your classmates, because so much of the work in the MBA program is done as a team. So it's important that everyone's bringing something to the table. And that work experience piece is going to be important in some ways. For one, for the knowledge that you're bringing into the classroom, but for your ultimate goals of obtaining that career after your program. It is kind of a misconception that some people have that it's the MBA alone that gets you to that position or to that salary. And there's so many more things that go along with it that the diploma by itself is not going to do that for you. Employers are looking at so many other things whenever they are interviewing candidates for these positions after an MBA program. They are considering the work you did before the program. They're considering what you did during the program. The internship piece is a very important part of the MBA program, especially if you're wanting to make a major career shift and gaining some knowledge or experience in either the function or the industry of your ultimate or dream career, and so you can help to bridge that gap. So, and if you have anything you'd like
to...
Well,
I just wanted to share a personal story on that regard. regard. Both my wife and I are graduates of the ASU MBA program. Now, I had an undergraduate degree in accounting. My wife's undergraduate degree was in political science, and she had a long career in human resources. She came to the MBA program, and she brought a lot of just well-rounded experience, was very successful in contributing to her team, and she picked up a whole new business perspective that has propelled her career. She is now Chief Human Resources Officer for a Fortune 500 company, and this year she was inducted into the W.P.Carey Hall of Fame. So I think it's what you bring as a person more than your specific knowledge and work experience that you have to date, because your ability to think and create and adapt is what really makes you, gets the most out of your MBA and makes you a successful contributor to both the MBA classroom and your teamwork as well.
We have another question. Does age play a factor? Say 30 plus, does it weigh against an applicant's competitiveness? That is a misconception as well. Obviously, you can see in class profiles at any program the average age, and I think that does attest a lot to work experience. I would not say it would weigh, against you. Once again, there are so many other factors, such as, what did you do before, during, under your undergraduate, or after, your undergraduate career? Are you a non-traditional student? And maybe are you a better fit for an executive type program if you have a little bit more experience, especially managing people, projects, and budgets? So I think, once again, that's going to be a very personal thing.
And I've seen that in both the classes that I was part of during my MBA program and the classes that I'm teaching. I assume if you ask if age plays a factor, maybe you're a little bit older, and the question does say 30 plus. I've seen those people become rock stars and become some of the real leaders in the classroom. So it all depends on what level of commitment and what level of enthusiasm you bring. I think we all seek diversity is a wonderful thing in any type of program, whether it's the place that you work or the program, MBA program that you're attending.
Okay, we have a new question. I am an Indian national, and if I do my MBA at ASU, how long will I be allowed to develop enterprise in the United States? You will actually receive something after your program that will allow you to continue your visa for up to a year after the program. So that will give you the time to either gain the experience with your current employer to have them sponsor your visa, or for you to develop your enterprise in the States. So there is a period of time, and you do receive something after the program allowing you to do that. We have a question. I believe it's saying a Master of Science, a 2-year Master of Science program. Could these be considered years of work experience? As far as the actual work experience goes, when they're looking at your resume, they're not going to be able to count that as work experience. Obviously, if you were working while you were in your graduate studies, they could count that. There's 2 ways that committees are going to look at work experience. One is the actual scope of your experience, so even work you did supposedly non-traditionally, so before or during your undergraduate degree, that can definitely count as adding to the quality and the competitiveness of your application in terms of what you're bringing into the classroom. But in terms of years of experience, they're looking at your resume and actually counting the experience that you've done post-undergraduate work. They're only allowed to count years post-undergrad, and they're only able to count the time where you were actually working. So if you were working while you were in their program, then yes, they could count those years as experience. Or if you did an internship, that is also counted as experience. We have a pretty specific W.P.Carey question. What is the average GMAT, and how can one compensate a low score? So the first part of the question, the average GMAT for our full-time program is a 673. How to compensate for a lower score. Once again, the application process is truly comprehensive. So, you know, there can be other ways to make up for a little bit lower than average score, such as type of work experience or a possibly undergraduate GPA. You know, when you have concerns about this, it's really best to reach out to a member of our admissions team. We're here to help you and walk you through that process and talk to you on an individual basis because, again, it's not a cookie-cutter program. Everyone's going to come in with their own unique background and interests, and so our team is dedicated to helping each person to sort that out and find out how to submit the most competitive application. So please reach out to us, and we're happy to walk you through that. Great question. What should you provide or discuss with the people who are going to write your letter of recommendation? Definitely reach out to them, you know, prior to submitting them as a reference and let them know that you are requesting to do that. If they haven't been someone that you've spoken with in a while, provide them with an updated copy of your resume. You know, bring them out to coffee or to lunch and go over what your goals are, why you're wanting to pursue your MBA, and kind of talk them through that process, especially, like I said, if it's been a while since they've been in contact with you. What the committee is looking for when they're looking at your letters of recommendation are, you know, examples of leadership skills, teamwork skills, how you perform, just, you know, who you really are as a person, and that's kind of helping us once again determine the right fit for our program. One of the pieces of advice that I sometimes give when you're looking at the rest of your application, when you're looking at your essays, you're looking at your resume, if you feel like there's a quality or a skill that you have that's just not really being represented in the material that you have provided, and you can think of maybe a story or something that maybe happened or a project you worked on with one of those individuals, it could be a good idea to reach out to them and say, hey, you know, I know, or, you know, providing you with this as a reference for this program, and here's a few examples of some of the projects we've worked on that may help you when writing this letter of recommendation. And that can kind of help you to, of course, you can't tell them what to write, but reminding them of certain projects can help to, you know, more round out your resume if you feel like there's something that isn't being provided. Another piece of advice about your references, they should really be people that you've worked very closely with. You know, think about that relationship more than the title, because, you know, it may seem very impressive to provide a reference from the, you know, the CEO of your company, but it's very obvious to the committee when they have you know, a very shallow level relationship. It would be a very generic letter of recommendation, and it would not be the most competitive kind. So much better for like an immediate supervisor or colleague or something like that. And for those of you that are entrepreneurs, if maybe, you know, you are working separately and haven't been working for an organization, it's another idea is to invite vendors or clients to write your letters of recommendations for you. Someone else has written, I'm wondering what I can do to strengthen my profile to have better chances of receiving scholarships. Different programs award scholarships on different bases. Our scholarships are provided based on the overall merit or competitiveness of the application. So, you know, you really just want to take that into consideration and reviewing profiles for the schools you're applying for to see where you are in relation to the averages. So, Anything that you can do to help increase the competitiveness. So if you've taken the GMAT and you feel like you can do, maybe have a little bit more of a competitive grade, maybe consider retaking the GMAT. But the best piece of advice is to reach out personally to the admissions professionals at your school. Then that kind of leads into the next question about whether it's a good idea to engage an admissions consultant while working on your applications and essays. I really would strongly suggest reaching out to the schools and speaking to their admissions professionals. They're there to help you, once again, on a very personal level on your specific application, and they're going to know the most about what their school is looking for and what the best fit for their school. So I would encourage you to reach out to each school. They will have admissions professionals that are there and happy to help you through the process. It's been 3 years since I graduated, but my work experience is only 15 months. Will that weigh against my application? Once again, it depends on a lot of factors. If there is a gap in your work experience on your resume, that's something you're going to want to explain to the committee. So if you graduated 3 years ago, but you've been working 15 months, what were you doing for the rest of the time? So that's something you're just going to want to talk through with the committee, and especially most schools will have optional essays as part of their application. That's a great way to utilize that optional essay to talk through what was going on during that time frame.
We have a question here. How do you go about identifying the problems in a community, state, or region? I think you just ask the people, I guess, for the most part. I mean, certainly there's no shortage of problems. There's a lot of different studies that are done out here in the Phoenix business, and there's just a lot of different individuals that are connected to the community and have identified issues and how they can help people. So, you know, I just would dive into the community and look for opportunities there. That's one of the things really about the entrepreneurs is they see things a little bit differently. They ask different questions, and they see opportunity where other people just see problem.
An interesting question is starting an NGO considered relevant work experience. People have a lot of ideas about what the word relevant work experience is. All of your work experience is going to be relevant to you. Every person is going to bring different experience. So any type of experience that you have, you know, I think is going to be something you want to talk about in your essays and something that you're going to bring into the program. So you're going to bring in a different type of experience and something that will add to the classroom. So I mean, I would say yes. Do you have anything to add?
Well, and just, you know, what insights as a result of your work starting the NGO, what insights do you have? What perspectives does that give you on the world, and how does that bring something in? Because, you know, we're looking to give to you, but you as students, you also give a lot to each other, and as well as you give back to us as instructors in that, and we learn and adapt as well. So what are your thoughts as a result of the work that you've done there? And relevancy, it depends on what you take away from any experience you've had. So what questions should one ask themselves before making the decision to become an entrepreneur? You know, your level of commitment, you know, your ability to deal with failure and to get back up. And that, you know, we can teach entrepreneurship and that in different techniques, but at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur is as much a psychology and a mentality as anything else. Your ability to tolerate risk, your ability to work through the issues and have confidence in yourself. Some people just aren't cut out for that world. And once again, I think that's why part of the topic of today's discussion was developing the entrepreneurial mindset, because that helps people that would want to be entrepreneurs, that need the comfort and the confidence of having another organization around them, that they're not always on and not always accountable for every issue of the business's failure or success. Nonetheless, what we're really trying to accomplish is your ability to understand what it takes to make a business successful. And as I said, entrepreneurs have that real special characteristic.
We just received a question, should we be diplomatic in the interviews or be completely honest? I think you can find a nice mix of the two. What I tell people is to first of all find out the purpose for the interview from the school that you're interviewing with. Different schools interview for different reasons. Some are by invitation only. Some grant an interview to everyone. Also understand that every aspect of communication you have with that school is part of your interview process. And the day that if you're going to campus for an interview, as soon as you step out, then you're being interviewed. So treat it like a job interview. Be professional. Dress professionally. Be prepared with questions. You can probably find. I think you should be honest, but. At any rate, okay, it doesn't look like we have any further questions, and we're nearing the end of our hour. Thank you again for participating in our presentation today. We apologize again for the technical difficulty earlier, but we encourage you to go and watch that video on our website. It is an excellent piece on entrepreneurship. So thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks for your time.